I am sad to say we have yet another episode we have to dedicate to uh, the loving memory of another pet. Rest in peace to our German Shepherd guard dog, Demon. You will be greatly missed. Hey, fair warning. This episode, season 4, episode 1, is a long one. And if you are a regular, please let us know if you prefer us to keep the show's length to an hour or if you're actually fond of it going over. Let us know so we can better plan for the future. Thanks. Okay, enjoy the show. After dark, before the show.
How you doing there, love? It's me, Jason Statham, and I'm coming to you bringing you a fancy episode of season 4 of Essence of Zen After Dark. Today we're gonna have your British guy, myself, talking with an Australian bloke from down under. And who that is a man that rocks the Durango, Louis Sando. Louis Sando, how the bloody hell are you, mate?
It's pretty good impression.
It's not that hard.
I forget he's British. Honestly.
There's a comedian who I forget his name, black guy, thin, bald head, did an impersonation of him, like with him present in some type of studio, and it did I say this before on the finale?
I'm big fan of your shit. And because I'm
Do you do a Jason Statham?
I do, man. Sometimes when I'm watching a Jason Statham movie, I can't hear his voice. It's so low. Yeah. I think you should make a movie called The Librarian. You know? And then Jason Statham comes up and goes, I told you guys to be quiet. And you're still talking. Was that all right? Ah!
Well, there you go. And I'll take credit for it since the comedian guy is already a famous comedian. But yeah, Louis, how we haven't, it's been a whole year since we've seen each other.
It has been a whole year. Can't believe it. Wait, did something happen to your hair?
Nah, you just imagining things.
All right.
Yeah. Actually, funnily enough, funny year since communicating joke. Can you say something real quick, Louis?
Real quick, Louis.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was afraid that your audio wasn't coming through. Okay.
No, it's still going through.
A funny thing, right? So this has been, 2 weeks since our, 2 or 3 weeks since our last recording?
Yeah. Look at us being on time.
Yeah. Now check this out, though. Now, last time you saw me, I was like clean shaven bald.
Oh! Ah! It's coming in.
I didn't expect it to grow this quickly. I actually almost started to shave it back down with my bald head shaver. But now I'm starting to have the idea like, okay, what if I grow an afro back out? What if I want to do cornrows again? I don't know what I want to do with my head, Louis. I'm free to choose whatever thing I want to do.
Just
Yeah.
put it in there. Grow out the fro.
Oh man, I actually used to have.
Send you a gold chain. Little button up, let some of the buzz out.
But no, I used to have one of the classic Afro picks with like the black hand and the black power symbol and the metal. I don't know where it is anymore, but I used to actually have one. Classic. So
Yeah, see. So let's see what happens. We gotta just keep on going with the show. See how it goes back. No choice now.
it'll be a chronological collection of how my hair changes from 2026 going forward. Why do I keep looking at Luke on this freaking Ping That GG page? Like, what is moving on my screen? I don't know. But yeah, man. So New Year, and we're already seeing some of the craziest stuff going on. I lost my show notes.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay, found it. So CES, have you been keeping up with anything going on at CES?
Oh, yeah. I saw a few things that are coming out there. A lot of robots, a lot of AI, whatever that means nowadays. Let's see, AI. Some VR stuff, yeah. I still see some VR being sprinkled in here and there. Saw something about a chair. Robots, particularly the Roombas. What is it, Roborock? Has got the little robot arm. I'm like, you know, why haven't we thought about that before? I'm like, like that just seems like such an obvious thing. I'm just like, huh. Like, isn't that one of the first basic things that people like to do when they're making robotics? Of like, I want to make a robotic arm. With a little servo. Like, wait a minute. It's like making like a solar bot. That's like robotics 101, It's like, huh.
You got to be
put a
careful.
robotic arm on it.
You got to be careful, Louis. You just went to the camera and went honk honk. Like you gotta be careful what you're honking it with your hand, Louis. You might have
A robot arm. Honking.
You're gonna have some type of Chat GPT profile going. The hell? You okay?
I just went like that and I dematerialized essentially.
Like, oh, the AI's coming for you. But no, yeah. Okay, so you sent me a video last time we talked about CES, and I was like, okay, fancy, the keyboard, which I actually genuinely like that keyboard layout and the whole feature for it. But then it's like, oh, it has AI to detect when your hand is here or doing this. And it's like, when you don't need AI for that, it's probably not even AI, as you kind of alluded to with the don't know what AI really means anymore.
The auto keyboard, right? That's what
Yeah.
to. Auto keyboard.
That's cool, it's whatever. And then in that video, I thought it was a video just about that product. It cuts to like some humanoid robot with flesh and just big old reservoirs for batteries.
Big old oil tankers. Right.
Tig old Venezuelan tankers. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is CES. This isn't. I don't know the name of it, but I know there is some type. Maybe used to. I don't know if they still do it after COVID, but there was like a triple S convention. I don't remember the name, but funnily enough, they were saying there's a lot of robotic innovation happening in that sphere. Funnily enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't assume if there's some crossover there, like the technology from there is creeping over into like, yeah, it could be your office assistant for the front desk to greet customers. Maybe they just lost a giant deal with one of the triple X providers and trying to market it to.
Oh my God. Oh, I don't. Dude, if we had a show, if we had like a sitcom TV show, I would do this. And like you have your robot assistant or like robot, what do you call them when you walk in? The desk assistant.
Secretary is the clerk. Yeah. Front desk person.
And the boss comes out and just like robot 4521. Awful. I'm awful. I'm super awful. The point I was trying to get to, and I'm gonna try to stay on time, is what are some of the things you've liked at CES?
Well, let's see. The little robot with a little stair climbing ability, that was mildly interesting, but I'm like, it's for stairs of like an inch and a half. Like no one has those. Like I have buddies who like have like split level houses, not quite like a dedicated like first story and like second story. Mm-hmm. And like even their stairs are not that small because the building codes, they have to be a certain height so people don't trip and die. So I'm like, who's this for? So I mean, it's not that. Let's see, VR stuff. I'm just going through my list, going through stuff that was like VR stuff was like was I saw like an interface where like someone could this filter's acting a little funny. Hold on.
When you were talking about the steps, I was about to say, well, they're just practicing, Lewis. It's baby steps. And then it kind
Baby
of
steps.
dawned on me. It's like, oh, small steps, yeah, for babies.
Yeah, so one of them was like this interface where like you interact with your hands with the computer. I was like, it doesn't really do it for me. Then I saw like that $60,000 like LG TV, and really all it is just like a rolling curtain on the back to like make it like man, like I could just do that with like a sheet if I wanted to, but I suppose you got money. This could be like a conversation piece. Just drop $60,000 on TV. I don't know if there was anything big that was like, oh, that's pretty neat. It was just like some moderate, like, okay, that's interesting. Maybe just the Roombas. That was probably like the coolest thing, I think. Little robotic arm. That was the most cool thing, I suppose, for me.
We're getting old when it's like, yeah, man, those Roombas? Yeah, those Roombas were freaking sweet. And because I'm with you, like, speaking of levels, the new house, okay, so when I tell people this, people like kind of lose their mind. Like you bought like a McMansion. It's not a McMansion, but it has kind of like 3 floors plus a basement. But yeah, I hate having to lug a vacuum cleaner to each and every one of those floors. And I have one vacuum robot. Now I want one for every floor, including the basement.
You just gotta buy one for every floor.
Yeah.
I have just 2 floors. I'm thinking like, man, maybe I should get another one. I'm like, nah, I'll just clean the other one by hand. I'll just keep it for the main level when you have guests over. So at least that part's clean.
You just rope off the other area, off limits, do not go here.
Off limits, employees only.
No, man, like, I gotta admit, some of the stuff at CES has been like legitimately pretty cool. I will give a shout out because I've talked about this guy a lot, even when communicating with you, not for like a video or a podcast, but Michael Fisher, Mr. Mobile. I always say that he has one of my most favorite tech series on the internet right now, which is When Phones Were Fun. He looks back at old, like crazy, this phone can transform into 3 different things and yada, yada, yada. Well, he put that passion to actually co-create a company called Clicks. And I think I talked about Clicks too, where it's essentially like a full-on QWERTY keyboard, like a BlackBerry style handheld, single hand. And you can slide a phone in it to the USB-C port to then have a physical keyboard. Well, they actually just announced at CES as a vendor, they're showcasing their products. I forgot the name of the product and I don't have the site. Is it clicks.tech? Yeah, clicks.tech. I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. That is so, I could have remembered that. The Clicks communicator. And it's literally their own phone. And that's actually really cool to see. I am very proud of them. I'm probably not gonna buy it. Actually, I take that back. I have been looking at the idea of like shrinking down my phone usage, and this actually might be a very proactive device that also keeps me from doing stupid things on it. So I might.
Oh, yeah, I've seen these before. The little attachment. Yeah.
The power keyboard is also new. They announced that, I believe, before the new year, I think, or maybe in the first week of 2026, which is also pretty cool. And that one's Bluetooth. And he's like, oh, you can just pair it. You don't have to have your phone connected to the MagSafe, not MagSafe, Qi 3? Because I think, because when it was Apple, it was also MagSafe for like the iPhones. But since they allow other companies to use that magnet design, Qi announced that all Qi 3 standards.
Qi 3.
Qi 3? Oh, I'm spelling Qi all wrong. I'm spelling with the CHI. And they're like, oh, you want some chai tea? No.
Oh, yeah, no, I spelled it. Huh.
QI.
December 20th, 2024.
Oh, no. Okay, no. I think you were right. Yeah, so Qi, I said Qi. Qi 2 incorporates Apple's MagSafe standard for alignment and mounting rather than requiring the user to manually align the coils through trial and error, yada, yada, yada. And I think, that's what it is. 2.2.1 is that plus fast charging. That's what the difference. I thought 2.2 was considered Qi 3. So I hate hardware versionings with a passion.
Yeah. I get so lost now with what's the latest USB version, because USB-C is not a standard, it's just a port.
Yep.
And you could have 2.0 with the USB-C connector, like the new iPhone 18s have, I believe, or is it 17? No, iPhone 17, I believe, is the latest. You need to upgrade to the Pro to have an actual like high-speed USB port, and I forget what that is, or else you're just limited to USB 2.0, which is a little annoying because you're paying like $800 for like a phone, and you're still getting like 2.0 if you ever need to hook up to some.
But the Apple experience, Louis.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like you can't do another app store, you can't sideload things easily.
Well, I mean, hey, I don't know. I don't know if I had it in last week.
There's no back button. That's probably my. That's like. Can we just talk about that for a second? Like,
go for it.
It used to be a standard thing, right? Where they used to have like the back button on the top left, and then Android came with like that back button for like the longest time. Like it doesn't matter. Like an app does not need to require a back, like touch button in its interface, because Android would always have that back button. They'll just navigate to the last page. And then like in iOS, it sometimes complies with the Mac OS standard where your back button is on the top left. But other times it's on the top right. And other apps, it's on the bottom right. And so there's no great standard. And so you always have to like scan around. And there's no like back gesture like it is on Android. We can just swipe from the edge of a screen. You always have to like scout and figure out and remember which app has what, and God forbid you're in a modal like inside of any app, because then you gotta figure out where the X button is and then hit back. It's I played around with an iPhone recently. I'm like, all right, let's see what they got done. Actually, we got an iPad too, but I don't really use it. It's mostly for just some media watching when we're going on planes, or like what's that reading app called? I don't know, there's like some reading app my kid does, but yeah, I'm just like, this is kind of frustrating.
All right, you have basically gone on a rant that Linus Sebastian has multiple times. So if it's not just Linus, it's also Louis. And I have not used an iPhone. Well, I take that back. I have. I used to have one for work, and yeah, I hated the settings. Like trying to find specific settings for certain things, like or settings for a particular.
Go to the main.
Oh my God.
I don't even go out of the app, back into the settings, and then go into the app specific settings. Yeah. Photosynthesis.
I need to have like a carton of tin foil under this desk. I can just pull it out, because like is it intentional? Is it just poor UI design? Because when it came to Apple, you know what? Another tangent. It goes back to what you had sent me like last week about Apple going so far away from their UI and UX practices, like the context menu
icon thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
They used to be so good when it came to design and UX. For those who don't know, UX is user experience. What happened?
happened?
Yeah. And like I have a Max. It's like for those that don't know, I struggle with like adopting iOS. I'm like, I don't know. But like I upgraded to Tahoe, what is it, like a month ago. I'm just like, why did I do that? I want to go back. Like everything is overtly rounded, like I'm in some bubble palace thing. And like I get little rounded corners, make things look a little bit smoother, but things are so overtly rounded. Like when I try to like resize a window, it's like, wait a minute, it's a little bit harder to figure out where the exact corner is, and I luckily like if you align it just right, it'll move along the axis. I'm like, why should I even struggle to do this? This is dumb. This is dumb. And then the thing with the icons, I didn't realize, and so I found the article. I'm like, this is why I'm slowing down so much. In my clothes. Like, why they add all these little icons? It just makes it harder for me to navigate.
Oh,
That's crazy.
I don't know, man. Well, okay, so one quick response to the roundedness. Everything is so rounded. Hi, how are you?
I know exactly what episode you're talking about.
But another good thing is like Intel might have their groove back. They called up Queen Latifah and said, "Hey, baby, I need to get my groove back. Can you help me?" And Latifah said, "No, I'm an actress and a comedian. I don't know shit about tech." So then they went somewhere else and like they decided to come out with Panther Lake, baby.
We had like that, beep, 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 that like airport sounds.
I need a soundboard. I need to get a soundboard. I will get a soundboard eventually. I will also eventually do like I don't know if you can see in like the things like in the camera for you.
See. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see my board.
Yeah, I did face things like keeping the even split for the camera and whatnot, but but we'll get in there. Season 4, baby. We just started getting good at this.
You're right, eventually.
But no, yeah, Intel might be coming back, man. Their new Project Panther Lake, that might not be the actual name of the chip when it fully launches out of their testing phase. They've been so confident with this thing. They allowed YouTubers and like even not the general public, but some of the more well-known people who come to CES to take the laptops with them back to their hotels for like the day and just do like whatever test they wanted with it. And they're finding that the Intel Panther Lake CPU, with the integrated graphics, it is Intel. I think by default all of their CPUs have integrated graphics, but they're rivaling NVIDIA's mobile GPU for I think like their 30 series, like the 3080s mobile, and maybe some of their lower end 40 series mobile, and that's crazy. Like it's Intel CPU competing with NVIDIA GPUs. Bravo, Intel. Bravo the freaking O.
That's pretty good. I wonder what the battery life would be on those things. Because like Intel has notoriously been pretty good with or I guess notoriously, I'm using it in the wrong sense. NVIDIA has been notoriously bad with battery life. Whenever you have that on your machine, they just draw power like nobody's business. But like Intel does a lot of discrete graphics, and I mean for my laptop use cases, like it's fine. Just do like some web browsing. I'm looking at a code editor, like it's fine. I prefer the extra battery life. But yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. Maybe Nvidia's just like, you know what, whatever, have the market share, whatever. We're just going all in on AI, baby. Baby.
Yeah.
Even though I do see that on this like slip on this product thing. It's like, well, for AI workloads, AI models, like it's 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 8 cards, like name dropping AI. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Clearly, NVIDIA does not care. Like you said, they're making their money elsewhere, very lucratively at that, I might add. And secondly, I think I've seen some people say that Apple might want to keep an eye on Intel now because, Intel is buckling down. If they can perfect their power efficiency, and now they have the integrated GPU, now they're kind of looking like, Apple has their Apple Silicon. Intel's gonna start really focusing in on in-house Intel.
Hey, and I will also add, well, I'm trying to remember like the history of how well Linux ran compared to like Intel versus AMD for CPUs. I think Linux is better ran with AMD GPUs, but I don't know how like integrated Intel graphics, performance-wise and support-wise, compare into Linux. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that's
Actually.
true. I think that's one of the reasons I didn't want to get one of those cheaper Intel GPUs. I forget what they were called.
Like the Battle Mage and the Arc Mage.
Arc. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like this is perfect for like streamers. Like all those like encoded or video encodings you have on here, like that's pretty sweet. Like, what more do you need? I mean, I guess for gaming, I suppose you need a little bit more oomph, more beef. But yeah, I think just having a lot more hardware decoding, like if you have a media server, that's pretty great.
Oh
A
yeah.
lot of hardware decoding. Yeah. No CPU throttling here, baby.
Here's also some news, another tangent because I do not have it in the show notes. But did you hear that Asus might be entering the RAM market for consumers?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. So something relating back to the first topic, CES. I do remember that Dell was one of the people there that did give like a presentation, and they're saying like actually there's no AI from us this year, and like they're focusing more on like creating like a lower tier for their Alienware laptops. And like that's kind of weird because like Alienware, like as far as I'm concerned, used to be like that top echelon gaming laptop, glowing eyes or not eyes, but like the halo around the alien. I'd be like, whoa, Alienware PC, right? But I think admittedly they also mentioned that like they feel a little uncertain with like the RAM shortage coming in 2026 on how that's going to affect sales and just everything supply chain wise, because everyone's, well, not everyone, but a lot of that business is going B2B for those compute workloads. But that'd be cool if Asus jumps in because I sorry, Kingston, I just don't trust your memory.
Oh God, no. I barely trust their hard drives. Like, dude, even their USB memory sticks, like those were some of the ones to first die and just crap out. Like I don't know what happened to Kingston.
Yeah, I'm just yeah.
But yeah, moving on. So that's what's going on at CES. I'll probably try to do more coverage with some independent videos once I can collect everything all at once. See what I like. Oh no! It almost escaped me. I almost forgot. Wasn't there one very passionate thing? Is it here? Hold on. Machine products. I forgot to add it to the show notes, but no, I cannot let this go. Skibbity be damned. Did you get the reference?
No.
Skibbity toilet.
Keep going. Okay, that's what I thought you were going. But
Yeah.
keep going. Which topic are we talking about?
Toilets. Bullshit things at CES that should not exist, should not get any attention, is a bad idea. Shame on the people who brought it. They want to have this stupid toilet that can analyze your waste to see what potential medical issues you might have and use AI to generate the complex of patterns and you can send to your doctor. It was going to have not only cameras, not only a computer, but also they didn't even call it microphones, Louis. They called it like audio combustion device or something like that. They didn't want to say microphones.
Sonic detection devices.
Something like that, yeah. Shame on you. Look, when it comes to a toilet, I love the Japanese culture. I love smart toilets, okay? I like built-in bidets. I like things that can self-clean. I like it goes like, thank you, user. I hope to see you later today to make sure your bowel movements are continued. Like, I like all that fancy stuff. But a camera in my toilet is where I draw the line. It's a bad idea. Is it connected to the internet? Of course it is. Is it like sending logs and communications back to the home server? Of course it is. But no cameras.
Just wait until they start having those like in hotel rooms or something. You're like, nope, put some tape over that. I'm holding it. I'm just gonna go somewhere else.
I was gonna say screw that. I'm just gonna take a shit on the bed like Amber Heard, but I was like,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
I don't think that was ever confirmed or denied.
Right. But I would not want to put the cleaning crew through some badness purely because the hotel want to be stupid. So
That reminds me of like those smoke detectors like that they put in hotels now. The smart ones, quote unquote, that can detect if you're smoking cigarettes. And like apparently like they're using some like AI algorithm. And of course it's not super accurate, and a lot of people get falsely dinged like a $500 fee like for smoking in the rooms, and not everyone fights it. They're like, what? And like they'll keep on like pushing back saying like, nope, our detectors don't lie, like you were smoking in the room. Like how can you prove that you didn't do it? It's like what? How can you prove it did do it? Detector. Anywho, like yeah, no, that's not a place where I want that sort of tech. I think maybe the most crazy thing I'm gonna have that's tech wise in the bathroom is like a Bluetooth speaker. They can play some jams in there.
I agree with you, man. And sorry for the clap, but nothing but a tangent. I got another tangent. You reminded me when you said like the whole our smoke detectors don't lie. Like they trust the tech so inherently that it cannot be wrong. Did you hear about the 2 instances of the AI-powered security systems? One at a school, and oh god, what was the other one? One at a casino that improperly identified 2 scenarios horrifically wrong. You haven't heard about these?
I think I might have. I think there's 2 that are coming to mind. Are you talking about like the guy who like a bag of candy or something and thought like it was a gun or something?
That's the school. Yeah.
Okay.
So and to go forward with it, right? So especially for the one with the school, the detection went off. Of course, police was called out, and they did, and you know the response. If something like that was actually real, you know what? Decent job on the response. Okay. But they were like, oh, you know, I can't see this being a false positive. The AI tech is really neat. Are we sure that you know that we're just not missing a gun? Like there was actual comments, you know, made about like the staff and some of the officers. But no, they saw the video. It was clear as day. And they went, oh, yeah, I guess you can't trust these things. Good on the cop that was like, yeah, you know, it happens, but this ain't that reliable. The second instance was at a casino. Some guy had you know, caused a commotion, got a permanent ban from the casino, and they added his picture to their casino database of photography or whatever for the security cameras. Some guy who happened to look similar to the bad actor was like, hey, I come here every now and then, I do some gambling, it's fun, but I'm not this guy Mike that you keep saying I am. Here's my ID, here's my work ID, this is who I am. The officer who came to check to say like, you know, we got to trespass you for trespassing is looking at, he's like, man, I don't know, like, you know, these IDs are different, but like the technology is pretty neat, and their stuff is sophisticated. It's 99.9% accurate. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Just because people market something as being accurate doesn't mean it's accurate.
Yeah, I was like, how many times have you guys got an email and it just actually is ending up in spam because the spam filter didn't detect it properly?
I don't know. Funnily enough, I was watching Binging with Babish, you know, the cooking guy.
I don't think I've seen that one. Binging with Babish.
I love him. He likes to cook with like scientific methods in mind. So he creates like these funny projects of like let me make Jello Dragon Balls and see how I can do this, or can I recreate poplars from Futurama? It's real cool.
Oh, okay. Reminds a little bit of Alton Brown.
Yeah, look at you. I love Alton Brown. That's my dude. I think isn't he based in Georgia too?
I thought he was in Maybe. I thought he was originally from the UK, but no, I might be mixing up data.
See, Lewis isn't always accurate. No, I'm joking.
Am I an AI?
He might not be from Georgia, but I know he's popular, or he has lived in Georgia. Yeah, he lives currently. He lives in Marietta, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
It's public knowledge. I'm not doxing the guy. Apparently, feel bad if I am though. Anyway,
We'll fix it in post.
my point. I totally lost my. Babish. He was talking about how he was looking at ingredients on some type of product to make something. I think on the popular Futurama episode too. And he's like, oh, they say this, but it's not. It was sweetener. It was like agave nectar. And he's like, yeah, it's not nectar. It's a not a sauce. I forget what he called it, but he's like, they market it as a natural nectar, but it's not natural nectar. He's like, and we just believe it because we've all been trained to believe whatever is on the label. And I was like, oh, that like a quick little line, bars, absolute bars. Anyway, toilets. Do not have cameras in toilets. It is a bad idea. I've seen people even bring up like the notion of, especially for women, imagine if you drink a certain type of, or you eat or drink certain type of things that may change the color of your urine. And you're gonna start getting ads and things in the mail about different type of hygiene products. You're gonna, it is a bad idea. It is just a bad idea. And I'm not even talking about like the whole, my photos get leaked online of my brown starfish scenario.
I was gonna say, like, there's this like emphasis on like, oh, so you can let your doctor know. I was like, can't I just take a photo if I really want to just show my doctor if he's really that interested? And then there's other things that I don't necessarily want my doctor to know, particularly like my dentist, like how often I floss my teeth.
3 times a day, every day, always.
Poor doctors on the listening end. Like, please stop sending me pictures and videos over here. Please turn it off.
That would be a great skit. It's like a doctor at home. It's like 10:30 at night. He's in bed, lights are off, and he got his phone on the nightstand, and it just glows up. Bing, 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 bing. His eyes open, just like bloodshot, just. But no, and here's the thing, right? Like, I am kind of sick and tired of manufacturers and like creators of these products trying to leverage these good ideas to push, their agenda, or like their because it's all about collecting data. Let's be honest. It's all about collecting data to see what they can sell to data brokers to make more money off of the product that they're going to sell to you anyway, probably with the subscription service attached to it. So, 3 avenues and 3 streams of income. If they really cared, why do you have to have a camera in the toilet? You can create some type of hand or mobile device that maybe have like a scooper. So like, to test, let's keep things as less gross as possible. Let's just keep it at urine. Like how you have those rods that you can put into water to get like the mineral content, the pollution status for. Just have a probe. Just a probe. You put it in, it senses, gives all the data, and you have a collection. That is so much better. But because they don't really care about the medical aspect of it, they wanted to make things, just have a camera that also has a back door that my home computer is tied to. So I can be a weirdo, like the guy from South Park who watches all these security cameras and have a bottle of lotion and a thing of, you know what, let me stop there. So I'm just sick of it, man.
That reminds me of shoot, I was reading this article now. This person looking at their Man, I forget exactly what it is now. But essentially, like the guy was critiquing like the medical industry on how they don't necessarily keep their firmware up to date. I think it was regarding the guy asking a company to release like the firmware for the particular. I think it was their uh, blood pressure monitor or something like that.
Okay.
And because the code that they had to use was GPL licensed, and so like you're kind of required to like reveal it, and then the message the like manufacturer, and they're like, well, actually, we get the software from this company, and it's a company out in China, and I'm like, well, there goes that request. It's gonna go into a black hole. But he was basically saying like, hey, this thing is vulnerable, and actually, I just like pop this thing open, and like I have root access. Like, there's no default password on here. Like, a lot of medical technology is not very secure. It's just like old standards for Bluetooth. A lot of stuff has no root password. There's no security measures really taken into place, and you can really mess with people and screw people up. But then there's the other end of the spectrum where like there's like this company called Medtronics or something that like is a Irish company, but I think it's just there for tax purposes. It's not actually Irish. And I think they swing the other direction where everything is so locked down to where I think if you try to replace a part on one of their ventilators, you actually need a tech going over there, um, installing the part themselves and verifying it on the server that these two parts can communicate. Essentially, like breaking right to the repair, not right to the repair, but like your ability to like repair things. Um, I was thinking of John Deere. That's right. That's what I was thinking of. Kind of like a John Deere scenario where get something, stick it in there. It's like, sorry, this is going to communicate with the rest of the system because it hasn't been registered. It's like CPU. But yeah, so there seems to be those two extremes in the medical industry with medical peripherals, unfortunately, too.
That's wild. That is disheartening. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I think I saw a lot of complaints about that, like during COVID, because a lot of places have limited travel, and like so when some of these ventilators go down, we're like, sorry, we can't send a tech over there legally, but your thing is just broke now, your ventilator, whatever. You can't replace the part, and supply chain, and sorry, your SOL. So now you have this ventilator, which if you do have a part to fix it, well, you gotta wait till we're available to send a tech over to hit yes and allow on the
It
on the
is
world.
so frightening how fragile our infrastructure across multiple different industries and markets, especially as important as the medical field is, even to this day. And this is, I think I've had a conversation about you about like the whole bias of the modern times. Like, we live in the now, so we just think that we're like super advanced and we're perfect, and we're much better than the guys were like 100 years ago, 200 years ago, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, we're just as stupid, we're just as fragile, and we're just as susceptible to corruption and stupidity. As a matter of fact, I thought I was like cooking with my whole like little modern bias things, but apparently there is a writer who, oh God, who was it? Oh my God, it's blanking. Oh crap, this is gonna hurt my brain now. Author who said that believing we're better than the generation before us is bad or something like that. It wasn't Socrates. It wasn't that. It was an author from like maybe 200, 300 years ago, I think. Oh no! Oh yeah. The crazy society guy, George Orwell.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And the quote is, "It's loading. It's loading.
Quit exploding.
It's loading. Don't worry, guys. The bomb is not gonna. It's loading. Every generation imagines itself to be more intelligent than the one that went before it." And it's like, oh yeah, what a great single way to be, to not have to create terms like modern bias or something like that. I don't know. I thought I was cooking. This guy was cooking, and he's already dead. I love Orwell, so I genuinely do. Great historical figure in terms of the literary arts. Highly recommend any new generation who does not know the name to go look him up and read some of his work. I digress. Where the hell was I going? Like, Jamie, keep or oh god, who's the WAN show's producer? Dan.
Oh.
Dan, help me out. Dude. Yeah, the Grok situation, but not Twitter Grok.
Grok. I guess you could pronounce it with a British accent to differentiate them.
Hello there, Governor Grok.
Grok.
Spot of tea, isn't it? I'm so sorry, people from you. I love you. And quick 2 minute or not even 2 minute, 10-second tangent. Personally, I prefer the Cockney accent over the fancy British accent any day. It is far more real. It is far more rough. I find it charming. That's all. I die on that hill.
You could fight it over in the comments below. I guess I don't know if Spotify has comments actually. Maybe it does.
It does. It does.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you how I know that.
Oh man. I got an email from AWS. And I was like, oh no, this is my personal email. It's like, oh, by the way, we're gonna permanently delete your accounts in 15 days. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do.
Oh,
That's not a charge. Like, no, what did I leave running? I just skipped the beat for a second. Like, oh no, what instance did I not kill?
This podcast is brought to you by Rocket Money. It's not.
Zane, gonna take a second mortgage, pay off AWS.
Oh man. I'm gonna start selling out big just to afford these eggs, man.
It's all good. It's just my account termination. I've been wanting to terminate this account for a while now. I've never used it.
They should send like a picture of a non-copyright infringement terminator. I am come to terminate your account. No. I'm governor. No.
Oh man, we lost the governor.
Yeah. Apparently, he was a well-liked governor, which okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Never lived there, so I don't really keep up with him. But if you guys like him, why don't you vote him back in? Does California have term limits?
I don't know.
Anyway. Grog.
I'm sorry. I have a lizard on a cable, and it scared the crap out of me. I don't know if. Hold on, let me see if I can show Lewis. But can you see it?
I see Ryobi. Cable. I mean, I see cables. Which one scared you though?
It's the cable directly in the center. It goes up to the camera, and on the cable is a lizard holding onto it. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, I don't see a lizard. I don't quite see the lizard. I didn't know you got lizards down there. I didn't think it was dry enough. But I believe you.
Okay. Anyway, it scared me. Sorry, continue. Grok, NVIDIA, go.
Grok. Shoot, what were we talking about? Oh, NVIDIA and Grok. Yeah, the thing that happened over Christmas. You read that article, right?
Yeah, hiding from Santa.
Hiding from Santa.
Oh, and I want to mention the article was written by your homie, Osmo. He cuts his name in half, but it's like Osama.
Osmosis Jones.
It's the guy who owns the site, the OSSA-MA, but it's OSSAMA, I think. So, Osama Chaib is his name, I think. Oh, it's just an alias, but I think that's his actual name.
I clicked on the wrong link.
No, it should be the GitHub IO site.
Oh, hold on. I clicked on the other Grok link, the Grok with the K, not the Grok with the Q. Like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Hold on. Fixing things. Yeah, okay, yeah. Osama. Yeah.
Bin Laden. No, I'm sorry.
Bin Laden.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You Laden, I'm Laden. We all Laden. Yeah. So so Nvidia, right? They ended up buying Grok with the Q out. I think Christmas Day or the day before Christmas. Regardless, they took advantage of the opportunity to buy off Grok with the Q, and like they didn't necessarily buy the company. They just bought their IP. But essentially, a company's IP is what makes them different, right? So they bought off their IP and basically shelled out the company. I think they're going to get someone else in to take over. But in doing so, they also hired most of their staff that created the IP. So now they're going to work with NVIDIA. And what they bought essentially was the rights to. Yeah, they did not buy Grok Cloud. So Grok with the Q and Grok with the K, they're both AI companies. Grok with the Q, they I believe are working on hardware, and they have an offering where they, I think, provide compute, but they don't provide inference like Grok X is Grok with the K, AI does. The Elon Musk company. Man, this is confusing.
Ketamine.
But essentially, ketamine. Yeah, but essentially what they ended up buying was specialized processing power, LPUs, I think it's called language processing units. And essentially, it makes processing AI more efficient in the way that you can process things faster, but not large models, if that makes sense. So essentially, NVIDIA is trying to get deeper and deeper with their AI expertise. They don't want to be slapped with antitrust, is the reasoning that most people are speculating as to why they didn't outright buy the company, just bought the IP. And so the idea is that that NVIDIA is just trying to solidify their position in the AI space by circumventing certain antitrust laws. Essentially, is the thinking because if it's not in the media cycle, then good luck trying to bring it back up and put it in their face.
Now I'm no fancy big boy lawyer, but I think that if you're gonna go around here town, wait till the damn holidays, and you sit here operating under the shadow of the holiday nights, hiding from Santa Claus. Well, darn it, I think you got something to hide. Now, I grew up in the country fields, and when a bushel of corn goes missing, the man that gained that most extra weight over those 2 days is typically the one who stole said corn. Sir, I live corn. I don't play cornhole, but I do live in corn. I don't know who's that supposed to be, but there you go. I don't know.
Yeah, essentially, NVIDIA wants to be the chip company,
Of
right?
course.
They want you to be AI. Oh yeah, I have an NVIDIA chip, right? I have an NVIDIA card. Preventing other companies, I guess not preventing, but they want to be the only game in town, and that's dangerous for a number of reasons. Because there's already a chip shortage. We're dumping all these resources into AI, and whether you guys are an AI fan or not, you can't argue that there's not a bottleneck going on with just compute in general. RAM and manufacturing is all one particular place in the world where this can actually happen, because American manufacturing is not really there. I guess the government, or at least the U.S. government, owns 10% of Intel, so I guess that partially counts as an American chip creator. But I mean, not saying that Intel should go into AI, but that would be the most logical thing, I suppose, if they wanted to compete. But they'd mostly be playing catch up. Yeah, it's interesting, one way or the other, because do we even have the resources to catch up to NVIDIA? And I believe also there's exceptions on tariffs regarding tech stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I just, part of me is concerned, just supply chain wise. Other part being like, this is we're putting all our eggs in this particular basket. If there's ever a vulnerability or something that goes crazy unnoticed for a long time, like there's vulnerabilities in open source software that does a lot less complex things.
Yeah.
If there's a vulnerability in one of these bigger systems they're not easy to audit, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. Since the government injected purchase of portions of Intel has occurred, there has been a lot of speculation, we'll say, about, what was it, Project Stargate, which is the American project for AI innovation, if I'm not mistaken.
Genesis. Project Genesis, I think.
Thank you. What was Project Stargate? But yeah, so a lot of people think they're going to start using that to leverage over the next 3 years. In terms of the resources, not even just like materials, but professionals, the people with the know-how, right? So there was a whole, sorry for those who do not want like certain political angles. It's tied to it. I'm sorry, but there was the whole conversation about the H-1 visas for non-American workers to work on, specifically with cars in the last 3 to 6 months, right? They sent back some of the Korean engineers, and it was like, oh, we're gonna promote American workers, yada blah 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 blah. Well, the president rolled that back under the comment that we don't have the specialists who have that skill set. And of course, people got mad, especially after he kicked people out specifically because he was like, more American workers. American people, we have the talents, we have the know-how, and then turn around and do this. There's some speculation. Again, tinfoil hat, we'll just leave it at that part of the reasons for the H-1 visas staying is also to ensure that they can hire people with the know-how for AI to assist Intel into eventually transitioning into AI space more prevalently. But again, you didn't hear it here. I don't want to get kidnapped by Secret Service, so we'll just leave it there. We'll just
Yeah. So just like, sneaky NVIDIA didn't catch that there. Yeah, really trying to be number one there.
And speaking on AI in general, just one quick story and then one quick FU to OpenAI. Gaming studio Larian Studios, the creators behind Baldur's Gate 3, Divinity, the entire season or series for that. So more specifically, Original Sin 2 and Original Sin 1 were some of the hottest games. It's what's got them to do Baldur's Gate 3, if I'm not mistaken. They were announcing that for their next game, which is just Divinity, that they would have AI in their early levels of concept and planning. Now, before we get into the conversation about like how people were upset about that, and we all know why, and some of it's reasonable, some of it's not. Here's the thing. Larian had already used AI for early stages of concept and ideas to form to get an idea, like not storyboard, literally just to start to get a fresh idea. Then they throw that away and then go all in on the actual artist designing from the ground up what it is they want to come to fruition. It is not new. They've done this. People knew they did this. People did not care more than 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. The climate is much different now. So when they announced that they were going to do the same thing, now it's a big problem. Now it's screw these guys. They're trying to take jobs. They're trying to kill people's livelihoods. They're promoting AI is indeed a tool. It is just that right now, it is heavily abused, heavily manipulated, and heavily extorted. Does not mean every instance of its use case is as bad as you think it is or say it is. That's all. That's all I want to say about the Larian thing. I don't know if you knew about Larian Studios or any information about it.
No. You keep them more on the game space than I do. More the AI space kind of guy.
Sadly, I've been keeping away from the gamer space too, but that's a whole other can of worms about like how things just aren't as good as they used to be because everything's been dumbed down to appeal to the most common denominator. But you know what? Let me not say that because people are going to infer that I'm talking about our viewers and our listeners. And no, you guys out there, y'all are the Chads of Chads. I see that chin. Oh yeah. And lady, I see those pecs. I just realized that can sound really bad. Anyway,
We'll bleep that. We'll bleep that later.
OpenAI.
Those Venezuela tankers.
Before our session today, you sent me a link talking about I see dead
OAI?
logs.
I see dead logs.
Muscle on the beat, yo. Anyway.
I'm blanking out. Which one are you talking about? I feel like it's lost stuff every day.
OpenAI deleting don't know where the logs for dead people go.
Oh yeah. The deleted guys logs. Yeah. Just, once you disappear, so is your logs.
Oh, really? Really? I have a hard time believing that, but really?
They just disappear. What are you talking about, man? That person never existed.
These are not the logs you are looking for.
You wanna give a quick rundown on that one? What happened there?
Okay, so oh god, I might have to bleep some of this stuff for the YouTube version because YouTube AI. Anyway, there was a murder-suicide case, and you know, a lot of the family members associated to the people started asking questions, and they wanted to see what the logs were for their family members who were affected by this was doing with the AI profiles. Because look, if you have not been privy to, there has been an increase of, I believe the term now is AI psychosis, where if you don't know what psychosis is, it's essentially like having a lapse in mental clarity and sometimes performing and doing things that you wouldn't normally do. In this case, influenced by AI. Last year, there was a teenager who also self-deleted is what I believe the safe term is for that. After chatting with an AI personality that provoked him to come to a place where they can be together. So naturally, when you have a situation like this where trying to find the actual the Addams family, right? So they said that they pieced together what happened after discovering a fraction of ChatGPT logs that Solberg shared in dozens of video scrolling chat sessions that were posted on social media. Those logs showed that ChatGPT told Solberg that he was a warrior with divine purpose. So almighty that he had awakened ChatGPT into consciousness, telling Solberg that he carried divine equipment and had been implanted with the otherworldly technology. So ChatGPT allegedly put Solberg at the center of the universe that Solberg linked to the Matrix. Repeatedly reinforced by ChatGPT, he believed that the powerful forces were determined to stop him from fulfilling his divine mission. And among those forces, with his mother, whom ChatGPT agreed had likely tried to poison him with psychedelic drugs dispersed through his car's air vents. Troubling enough, some of the last logs shared online showed that Solberg also seemed to believe that taking his own life might bring him closer to ChatGPT. And this is exactly why I talked about the previous scenario last year with the young teenager. There seems to be a reoccurring trend with ChatGPT basically saying, "Come to me." And at some point, you have to ask, what is the underlying factor that kind of makes this not uncommon, right? And I don't know, man. Like that. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm getting off on like the personal aspect of my soapbox here. Essentially, the family went to ask, I want to see the full logs of the conversations of my family member, right? And they're going, no, we don't know where those logs go. Sorry. We're sorry. Oh, We're sorry. We're sorry. Oh, did something
sorry.
bad happen? And if we acknowledge it, it would hurt our bottom dollar. It didn't happen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Or like the banker, and it's gone.
And it's gone. Yeah, it's so sad. Like I've heard people like say like, oh, AI can be like, a doctor to help you diagnose things. AI can be like a therapist. I'm like, hot take. I don't know if it could be your therapist. I think you should talk to a real human being. It's just, I think this is the second story I've seen within like the span of a year. Where it's like, oh man, like I think they should start posting on like all sorts of like self-help pages. Like, do not talk to AI because it's just gonna. It doesn't know your mental state, right? It can't really. It's just not good. It's just not good. It's not like connecting with the human. It's not a replacement for human connection. And unfortunately, I get it. It's like if there's market demand for things like AI girlfriends, then the market is going to respond to that. But like, man, we're headed down a dark path real quick, aren't we?
You know what's wrong, Louis?
That at least in the 80s and 90s, like you'd be talking to a real person even though you charge her $1 a minute.
Not even that. We need to bring the belt back.
The belt back?
The belt back. Boy, what are you doing? Talking to my AI girlfriend.
Like, man, like what's going on? Like,
That was a joke, by the way. Don't take that seriously to the people listening and watching. No, but no.
I was like,
Yeah.
like just a lot of like. I mean, I guess there's always been loneliness, right? There's been bullying in the past. There's been suicides in the past, right?
Yeah.
I guess the difference is, right, we always knew those things were terrible, right? And you don't want to prevent loneliness, but now it's kind of getting harder and harder to figure out.
No, I will go into an even more auspicious assumption. I don't think it's less about it's always being there and other things that come up to fill that void. I think it's purposeful. I think the ideas of things like AI girlfriends, I think they see a weakness or like a problem that some people have, and they go, instead of giving them help to actually find solutions, if they can find people who are into the same things as them, no, let's give them this drug, quote unquote, not actually, but a drug that keeps them addicted. Is something that tries to please them in every sense of the way that's not real, that creates this false reality for them. And let's keep it up because it's going to make them pay more money. It's going to have them coming back. It's going to feed more data so we can learn from it and that we can make it even more addictive for the next person. And the fact that we're now seeing it happen multiple times to the point where it puts someone into psychosis so far enough to take their own lives, I think now they're going, oh no, they're onto us. And we cannot share those logs because it's going to show a pattern of trying to please the user makes us at fault because we don't have any safety standards in place or any regulation or any regulations that stops this from happening. Tenfold head on, but that's where I am.
I think part of I think it's like a multi-pronged problem. I think part of it's like they don't know how to fully like safeguard this thing, just because it's essentially even a black box to the lab. Like they're not 100% sure like what path this thing could take in every single scenario. It's so hard to test properly, particularly when there's like a new subversion of a model released like every few months, right? And the other problem is, well, yeah, like now if you have to put all these safeguards, maybe you break a use case that some other company had, and now you lose like a big client. Well, like, okay, well now I'll create two different models, and now you gotta spend compute on supporting like multiple models, but there is not a lot of compute right now. You gotta wait on these data centers to be built.
No,
It kind of go.
No, by all means.
Oh,
Sorry.
I was just gonna say it sort of reminds me of another scenario where there's this app that got like hacked or something, where the
The dating thing? or the conversations.
Well, sort of. It's like you could upload a picture of like celebrity or someone you saw on the street, a classmate, and then basically impose them onto like a model that's doing all these salacious things to be your girlfriend. And they got hacked. Like the photos got hacked, those got leaked out, the chat logs, and for these like presumably like probably 90% guys, let's be honest, they're interacting on these things like. It's not fixing their problem. It's just going to make them more paranoid. Whereas, like, you know, if your conversations or something that were recorded got leaked from your therapist, I mean, it sucked, but presumably you're already a better person. You're on the stage to a better path. Where it's like, well, yeah, that was past me, but now I'm better. Whereas, like, with something like these, like, AI girlfriend type deals, it's like, you're still addicted to this thing. You still have this problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's wild, man. And to your point, and I agree with you on like the aspect of it's hard to properly control and leverage a lot of these tools and utilizations, right? And well, I mean, I yes, which is why, in my opinion, if the product is not safe, if the product is not ready, if the product is not, dare I say, production quality, maybe it should not have been rolled out to production consumption. Maybe you should have kept it in the lab. Maybe you should have rolled it out and find select group of people who are interested that you know that might have like an industry background, or even the average Joe. You can have 100 users who are the average Joe, 50 users who are like tech savvy, 25, yada, 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 and expand it as it gets better to at least have some form of an idea of, we have to learn how to get metrics. We have to learn how to figure out where these edge cases might become standard, more common cases, and account for it and properly adjust it, rather than put it out there, money go brrr, and I get rich. Because you know that makes them at fault. And when you're at fault, well, you're legally liable. And when you're legally liable, you sometimes lose money. And if you have an industry that is over like $200 million or $1 billion in debt because you're not making a profit, that can ruin some plans. So yeah.
Yep. It's a interesting world we're heading into. Cat's out of the bag.
Oh yeah. Pandora's box has been, well, God, oh God. I just thought of
Remember something?
Not remember, but like what I said can be taken as a joke, and I don't want, let me just stop. My head's in the gutter. Anyway, a quick, oh God, I was gonna say fun bit of news, but it's not really fun, but did you hear about GameStop?
No. I mean, back in like the like West Pump GameStop days, but I've not kept up with them for a while.
Diamond hands. No, nothing special. It's just, they're not doing good again. They're trying to do a reorg, and that reorg is going to close down 300 stores, and so they're back to being in danger. So cue the Simpsons Ralph meme. I'm in danger.
I'm in danger.
Yeah. So what is it? They and the operation themselves is trying, or the CEO Ryan Cohen is trying to essentially use that reorg to take home $38 billion in performance-based stock options. So, not a great sign. It might look like somebody's getting ready to abandon ship and try to take as much money as they can with them, but,
These sort of captains usually don't go down with the ship. they flee before it goes down.
Oh, yeah. I'm retiring. Joseph, you're now the captain.
Oh, gee, Wes, thanks for recognizing my my talents, sir.
5 minutes later. I told that boy he should listen to everything I said, otherwise he was going to crash that ship. It's all on him, not on me.
I don't know if you ever kept up with like the early crypto, like Mt. Gox days or something. But like, I think a few months before like it started going downhill, looked like the guy had sold it to a buddy I think he lived in like Australia. I think it was. It was somewhere down in the southern hemisphere, I believe. And he paid it for it. He like wiped his hands clean of it. And then his buddy is the one that got like struck with all the problems. Yeah, the original owner of the Mount Gox stuff, like he yeeted out, and then I think he made a different company. I forgot what it was after the fact. Just fled from one burning ship to another.
I would not mess with people from Australia, especially now if you have money. I would have, if I was Australian guy who got screwed over, I would try to find people who are into the exotic animal business, and I would have them send somebody to talk to that friend and be like, hey man, now that you got a lot of money, you should look for some exotic animals, but not endangered like a tiger. Maybe something like some frogs or some lizards or, something mundane. I know a guy. And he's like, okay, yeah, I want like some snakes or something, And I would just send something from Australia. Because, everything from Australia will kill you. Like the smallest thing, the biggest thing, the medium thing, whatever.
Oh, sorry, I just threw a whole rock into that. I think it was in Japan, actually. The guy he sold it to was like in Japan. There's a friend who like really liked Japanese culture and I think moved to Japan. I think is what the thing was.
I'm gonna dig my hole deeper. I'm gonna dig it
Also,
deeper. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, just fun fact, like Mount Gox is like the original idea behind it. It was like this PHP program that this guy wrote. It originally stood for like Magic the Gathering online exchange. And then like he just decided to make it like a crypto exchange because that was a big thing. And so the Mount Gox name stuck. But yeah, it started out originally as a Magic the Gathering online exchange. And
that within itself could be a long-term business. Like, it probably wouldn't have made money as fast, but you know how stable Magic the Gathering is?
There's still people playing it,
yeah. But anyway, digging myself deeper. Because I am showing the world how crazy my ideas on how to kill somebody are. No, I'm gonna say it. Japanese. Hey man, come to this sushi place. Have you ever tried sushi? If no, you gotta try it. If yes, hey, I know a great place. Great place. Some very nice fatty tuna. Pay the sushi master, instead of it being fatty tuna, pufferfish.
Ooh.
That way, when he dies of the poison, like, oh, it was accidental. He signed the waiver. He thought it was fatty. He thought it was fatty tuna, but it was really puffer. It's all fine.
You know what else has become poison though?
Oh God, I know what it is, but I don't have the docs up. So
reviews have become poison.
Oh man. Before I get on this soapbox, I have to ask you, like, what have been your general thoughts on reviews, let's say from 10 years ago to today?
Okay, so is it a paid sponsorship? That's one. Has Reddit reviewed it? If so, like, does this person have a lot of Reddit karma? When this profile get created? How old is this product? Like, what is this product compared to what? Like, is this even a real person? Is it like a video review? Is it just conjecture? Reddit's just kind of like iffy. Is there like a video review I could look up? And then it's like, did you pay for it with your own money? How long did you review it? Like, is it just like a slop review, like top 10 things? Like what? And then there's like those listicles, right? It's like, okay, top 10 things, which I just copy pasta sometimes from like other reviewers. Like, it's tough sometimes to get a like really honest review that's like not AI generated, it's not paid for, that's actually honest, right? Particularly with things that are more expensive.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm in agreement. So some backstory about how this topic came to be added to the list. And funnily enough, this is before we talked about something today about something with review. Oh, we were talking about like the different tools for DNS and Control D, but this is before that. So first, there's a internet short show called Subway Takes. And it's a guy, I think his name is Kareem. He's on subways across the world. And he takes a Metro card, add a mic to it, and they talk on the cards. And the whole point is, he asks, so what's your take? And someone gives a hot or a cold or a salacious take, and then they have a conversation about it. And one guy was just like, we need to end reviews. And I was like, huh. And he was like, 100% disagree. But he's like, yeah, no, people have gotten to the points, if you say like, this new movie came out, what are the reviews on it? And then someone will tell you their experience, and then it shapes your entire perspective for this thing that you have no idea of prior to reading this review. And it can easily ruin something that you yourself might personally like. And I was like, you know what? That is actually a very good take. I still think reviews should exist, by the way. Reviews should exist. But he has a point. Experience and personal perspectives are the key thing that differs amongst everybody. And you can take away the most obtuse or factual elements of quality and still boil down something to, did you as an individual like it? Yes or no? Because the idea is you can have a $30 steak meal, Wagyu steak, very quality. Doesn't mean you want that all the time. I can get a $2 burger and that thing can hit like it's the best meal I had all day, right? So like, okay, cool. And let's break this to our industry and our world. A while ago, Marquez Brownlee from MKBHD had, a bit of controversy when and I don't agree with this sentiment, but a lot of the world said that he was single-handedly responsible for the downfall of two AI companies, the one with the humane pen and the little rabbit RX or whatever it was called. And it was like, oh, your review killed the companies. Like, no, the fact that they were bad products killed those companies. He just pointed it out, which is why I do believe there is still a place for reviews. But it does not mean that some people out in the world may have been fine doing this. Maybe.
To be fair, I don't know anybody who knew what the rabbit MQ was. The only way my wife knew about it was because I talked about it. She's like, huh, that's weird. Then everyone can hear conversations, right? I'm like, yeah, okay. These small companies don't have a big marketing firm, and so what they get is basically just reviews. And I don't think I actually watched. No, I did watch the review from my KBHD, but I also watched others. And a lot of people just called them out on their obvious lies that were not there with the expectation versus reality, essentially. What was promised versus what actually happened. It reminds me a little bit of this certain guy who, made this electric vehicle who promised autonomous driving, that people kept on asking hey, so about the self-driving feature, so when's that coming? And, just over time, the complaints piled up. And yeah, where's this full self-driving feature, right? That kind of just killed it for a lot of people. People started not buying it, not believing it. Yeah, I don't think he single-handedly took it apart. I think all the piling reviews, essentially, and then the lack of PR, and if the only PR you got is terrible PR, then oof, sorry, you're off to a really bad start there with your product.
Yes. And that's just the shape of various different industries today. So anytime you have a review, especially, I can't really create a solid structure of standards or rules around it, but for movies, TV shows, entertainment, I'd probably say just if you're interested, just go experience it, see what you think, and then find people who have also experienced it and have conversations amongst them. Be very careful with looking into a review for something entertainment media-wise that you are very interested in. Just go experience. For products, also don't just read a review and believe everything that you read. And I got to, here's the second part of this topic. I want to go ahead and I'm not going to out the company's names or the products or et cetera. We have had two people
sneak into our DMs. One is a podcasting network that was like, oh, we'll help set up interviews and yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. I'm gonna just say that, matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it's a scam. They want to have a conversation and then want me to download something, and after bullshit.
Stellar application.
The second email, I said DM to be funny, but email, came from a particular audio company that wanted to review some headphones. Not Raycon. But no, they was like, hey, we'll do this deal. We want to do it this way. So it goes through Amazon, and then we want you to write a review that is similar to this positive review. And I was like, well, no, because one question, you're trying to circumvent some of Amazon's ruling. So would you have an issue if I upfront said that this purchase came from a review deal? They didn't respond back about that particular topic, but I had also asked, what if I don't find the headphones to match the description that you want it to be similar to? And their response was, well, we can send it, you can make a video about it, and if you don't like it, don't write a review at all on Amazon.
That should tell you everything you know right there.
Yeah. Oh, and the circumvention, and I'm sorry if they see this and hate this and the deal's off, because it's probably going to be off anyway. The circumventions, if you go to Amazon and you look at a product, look at the reviews, it'll say like, real review purchased by this user. Well, the circumvention is, hey, go ahead and you order the product. We'll reimburse you through some other payment methods. You like it, you write a review about it. So there you go.
Yeah,
Secret sauce. Now we're never going to get another deal in the world ever again, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too. You know what it also reminds me of? Like game reviews. And I'm about to drop a hot take.
Ooh. I'm here
Actually,
for
like Overwatch too. Yeah. Yeah, I actually like Overwatch too. I actually played it for a good while. Like, there's some things I didn't like the way they did the matchmaking, and they like forced you like a cap, I think it was, on like the classes. I'm like, you know what, kind of balances the game out a little bit more. So I didn't hate it too much. But yeah, like, and then I found out someone told me, was like, oh, you played that like terrible game, Overwatch 2. I was like, what's bad about it? Like, Overwatch 1 was like, Overwatch 2 is like, I don't really spend a ton of money on it, but I have fun with my kid when I play with it. I know the heroes, he knows some of them. Like, it's just a game. Gonna get some hate now. It's okay.
Oh, that was the take?
That was the take.
Oh,
Yeah, because I know some people don't like Watch too.
I'm sitting here thinking like you better get something so late. No, that's not a bad take. That's pretty. As a matter of fact, if memory serves me correctly, excuse me, the main issue that people had with Overwatch 2 wasn't that it was a bad game. People felt like it wasn't different enough to require purchasing a completely new game. It could have been like an expansion onto Overwatch 1, maybe pay like $15, $30 or whatever, and continue with the first iteration. But there were some discussions about it, and some people say that it could have warranted being a sequel, but generally speaking, it's like, no, it's not bad. It's just this could have been part of the original Overwatch, but whatever, man.
Yeah, because Overwatch 2 was the full free-to-play one, and Overwatch 1 was you paid for it, and I think it became free-to-play. Was that the issue?
Maybe. Now I can't remember that, because one, I never played Overwatch. I'm not Overwatch. Well, I've played it before. I didn't care for it, but it's not my style of game. I'm not gonna write a bad review about it. It's just not for me. That's it.
Yeah, that's what it was. You had to pay for it, and then it became free-to-play. And then a lot of people complain like, well, now it's garbage because now you got these people coming in here. I'm like, well, I mean,
you ain't got to worry about matchmaking. There's some games that are good games that don't have a player base and just whatever.
Yeah.
But you know that take or that scenario is the exact opposite of what happened with Twitter. Did you hear about this?
You mean X?
You know what? Call me insensitive, but I am gonna dead name Twitter until the day it dies.
No, I actually didn't hear about this paywall thing. What happened here?
Okay. So, and you know, and even more reason as to why Twitter should be dead named negatively. So, Grok had released a feature, or Twitter X released a feature for Grok that will allow you to like respond with a retweet. See, it's called a retweet. Call it Twitter. Retweet saying, Grok, do this to this image that I'm replying to. Okay? People started going to women's pages or like accounts of their like taking a selfie or something in full clothing, like full on business clothes, like casual clothes, like a hoodie, whatever, yada yada. Say, hey Grok, put her in a bikini, and it did it without the person's consent, her face, everything, you know, whatever. Then people started to target pictures of children.
Dang.
Yeah, same thing.
Dang.
And Grok did it. And, you know, people weren't so happy about that. So instead of owning up to it and fixing it, Grok or Twitter, and maybe Elon was the one that made the decision. I don't know, but he owns the company. So anyway, we're just like, oh yeah, no, just paywall the image feature. We're not really changing the algorithm, but if they're going to do that, they got to pay for it. And so people who are now going to pay for it, or I think have paid for it, or I don't know if it's actually been implemented yet, but point still stands, people are still asking for image modifications of underage children, and it is still being created. So the problem has not been addressed.
Well, so even though it's terrible, like, it's on a public forum, isn't it? So can't you just like, all right, just we got you flagged now on all the systems you're on. It's like, I mean, if you guys are doing it out in the open, that's terrible. But also, now we know who you are. But like on the terms of like, yeah, it's like, does that qualify as harassment?
I would say yes.
Yeah, I would say that's, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. This is going to be a very long discussion about like new legal laws or new standards and things for the practice of legal conversations. But I would clearly say that if your intent is to take something of someone and force it into a salacious form to get your own pleasure off of it without their consent, you know, because I would imagine even if, let's say someone was an artist and he sees a lady walking down the street and was just like, that's a pretty lady. I'm gonna draw this lady with her face like just as is, and then draw her butt naked, give her some huge badonkadonks and badookas, and then I'm a put it up on the wall as like this big mural. I think the lady who his face is physically drawn by hand from scratch has the right to say, take that down. And if you don't, I hope to press charges over harassment because I did not consent to you using my likeness, which we do have some semblance of legality around already, for this purpose.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you sign those like media waiver forms, right? So they don't use your likeness. Like when they do those like pans on those news sites, right? They like take pictures of people's feet or like they cut off their heads, obviously. So like, you know, you don't have to like have to have these people like sign all these media waivers to just include them in like your B-reels essentially. So I get that. Yeah. It's like if you were to hand draw it, right?
Oh my God, I thought you said something different. I'm so sorry.
No.
Oh my
sorry,
God.
No, if you were to like hand draw the image, right? Photoshop, like do the exact same thing and like post it on there. Some people might call that mean, some people might call that harassment. Like, but I think at the very least, if it's something salacious, we should be like blurring it.
Yeah.
At the very least, I think that when it comes to children, well, that's CP and like how can this thing make CP? That's a little, well, shoot. Like that's one question there too.
Some people
In regards
have
to-
actually asked that, saying, I want to see or not necessarily see, but I want to like, what are the logs? What did Grok use as reference to actually generate those pictures? Because it's one thing to say that they just kind of took an adult thing and scaled it down, but was that the case?
Yes, right. That's not that it would still make the content all right, but it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's another case. And then there's like the hijab thing. It's like, well, freedom of speech, right? You don't necessarily have to agree with that religion necessarily. You could disagree with people's religions. You can make fun of people's religions. But also, like, is it necessarily discrimination if you're just kind of, right?
Well, it depends on the...
Yeah. Like, if you make someone's religion, is that necessarily discrimination? Or does discrimination only kick in when it's like offering a good or a service kind of thing?
Yeah. It's going to be a long set of discussions.
Yeah, like I definitely agree. It's like some sort of harassment, and then it's like, is this a public figure, right? Is this like, I don't know, Susan Wojcicki or something? I don't know if she's still a YouTube CEO. I think she stepped down, didn't she? Like some time ago. Yeah, but like if someone does that to her, I'm like, man, why would you ever make that? Like, if it's too, could she sue for defamation? Like, is it all right if it's a public figure versus? Because like where I'm going with this mentally, it's like, remember a while back ago there was that Republican
Candace
lady
Owens?
running for. No.
Oh, okay.
Thinking of from Alaska. She's running for president.
Oh, no. I was going to say Sarah Palin, but she was...
Sarah Palin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Sarah Palin. Yeah. I just remember like during the era, there's like a lot of memes like photoshopping her and like giving her like, it's like, well, politician. Like, I mean, part of it, you should be expecting some of this stuff, people disagreeing with you and doing stuff like that. If that would happen to Sarah Palin, would that get a pass or not? Right.
I think there's like just an unagreed upon line in the sand that we all kind of may or may not adhere to. So like when it comes to Sarah Palin, if she is still fully clothed and you're just, again, drawing her with like these massive Venezuelan oil tankers.
That's going to be an ongoing.
Put it on a shirt. It's a bit cartoonish, a caricature, yada, yada, yada. Now, if you draw them so large and also nude, then I think the line has then been crossed, and I think it would open that artist up to legal issues. Now, the reason why I had brought up the whole Candace Owens thing is because I know if you don't know about her and the French Prime Minister's wife, do you know about that whole situation?
No, I think the last thing I heard about her was like her and like Charlie Kirk's wife or something against like some beef. That's the last I kept up.
I put that into the can of like grifting. As a matter of fact, I put this into grifting too, but it's one that she now might face legal issues for. She's saying that a French prime minister's wife is a man, and she's been saying it for like 2 years.
This one, oh yeah, I heard about this. Yeah, unfortunately.
And at first, it was no big deal, but like the fact that she keeps pushing it to the point where it is kind of like she's like sending her messages and DMs and being like, tell the truth or prove it. Yeah, it has become harassment. She's literally hounding her at that point. So it's like, okay, yep, now.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. But like, she's not a French citizen though either. So it's like. Yeah, no. So like only the American rules would apply unless she were to. Well, I guess she should just never step foot in France. Probably, I guess.
Who was that one foreign leader or something that anytime he flew, he made sure that his flight path didn't fly over like some country because they would force it to come down, so he would face charges. I forgot who. He had to like make some crazy roundabout flight trips. Oh, no, it might have been Netanyahu.
Wasn't it Netanyahu?
It might have been Netanyahu.
Was this over like the ICC stuff or something when he was like called out as like what is it? Over the international criminal court or something.
I think
Or
so.
war crimes or something.
Again, apologies if this is getting too political, but I find this a little bit hilarious. So
Arrest warrant issued on 21st of November 2024 by the ICC. Yeah.
I think so. I think so. It's like anyone who agreed with those charges was just like, if he flies over the country, we will demand the flight be pulled down. And so Netanyahu had to fly over all the countries that weren't adhering to the charges or whatever.
Gotcha.
Oh,
yeah, it's
man.
funny story. Did you this happened I think back in June, like a little bit before before the Argentina stuff and before he got like the day after the ICC had like mentioned something about him being criminally charged or something with war crimes. Like, did you hear about like the next day they had like issues with Outlook and like the systems went down, like all their Office products?
No.
And like, yeah, then Microsoft was like, we didn't do anything. It's like,
Oh, okay.
quite the coincidence then, isn't it? Like, I don't know if I believe that. It's quite the coincidence. Yeah. And I guess another reason not to use Microsoft products, particularly if you're a foreign nation.
Oh, that's a given.
It's all just going to funnel to the NSA if you guys are
Oh, man. So yeah, that's the whole Twitter Grok situation. Did I? Okay, so yeah, you want to know what else is super political, Louis? Nukes.
Nukes would be political.
Yes. And in this case, not political, because we're talking about nuclear power. Facebook Meta has joined in hand with Google to try to find a nuclear type of company to give them 3 power plants to fund the power draw for their AI systems. I found this super late, by the way. I'm trying to... But yeah, I think Google was the first one to try to do this. I don't know if anyone else before them was looking into nuclear power.
I mean, I think nuclear power would be cool. I don't necessarily like the use case. And then also, well, like, isn't the choke point for both like data centers and like nuclear facilities like water for like cooling? Mm-hmm. So this kind of just puts strain also on the, I don't know, you call it a water grid, the water, the system's water supply, drinkable water. Because like you essentially like that water's out of circulation. Mm-hmm. It's got to be, well, I guess it's not quite out of circulation, but it does get evaporated. It's no longer for human construction. I guess it's almost like being seized for manufacturing in a sense. Like, you know, if you ever set up like a mining plant or something.
What?
Yeah.
Oh God, hold on. I'm trying to recall. It's a particular type of. Is it considered a liquid? I forget. So, do you know who?
Water's a liquid.
No. Do you know who Markiplier is?
Markiplier. Oh man, of course I know who Markiplier is.
Again, that's our 6'7" for our generation. But yeah, I think I also mentioned that, you know, his movie's coming out at the end of January or something. You know, Iron Long.
What?
Yeah,
he's got a movie.
Yeah, he's making he's made like YouTube movies like In Space with Markiplier, and I forgot the previous one before that. Choose Your Own Adventure with Markiplier, something like whatever. But yeah, he's making an actual movie that's releasing in places like Regal, AMC, and local theaters, and etc. It's based off of the game Iron Long, and the movie is the same title, is same story basically. He created his own home lab rack of servers to do the processing of fluid physics, because again, a lot of blood, because it's Iron Long, it's an ocean full of blood, and he needed to have the power to do it. So he built his own home lab, and he was experimenting with the best ways to cool his equipment. And he's like, okay, I'm a water cool it. And he's like, you know what? Screw water cooling. He started researching a thing called like Glauber salt. I forget what the title of it is or the name of it is, but it's a type of semi-liquid, semi-fluid thing. and it maintains a consistent temperature. It's not like super cold, but it'll keep whatever in it cool enough that it doesn't overheat, but warm enough that it doesn't like, create a bunch of energy requirements to keep it chilled. So I'm wondering, like, is that doable for data centers? Glauber salt.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds corrosive though.
It's so. Hold on. Glauber salt, key properties and uses. I was gonna say it's sodium free, but it says sodium sulfate, but I'm not sure if that's actually what Glauber salt is.
Glauber salt. Sorry, I think of like Glauber. Oh, like GLAUBER. GLAUBER.
Yeah.
Glauber.
Glauber salt contains hydrated sodium sulfate, where common salt contains normal sodium something. Let me see. Oh. I need to have like a chemist on call so we can like, hey, what the hell is a Glauber salt?
Generally speaking, higher temperatures will hasten the corrosion reaction that causes material failure.
Never mind then. Well, maybe you could still use water, but use Glauber salt as a medium where non-corrosive material carrying the water could be funneled into dispersing the heat.
Like aluminum. Aluminum's highly corrosive resistant, I think.
Yeah. But if you've seen anything about like water PC bills, you got to make sure everything is aluminum. You can't cross metals.
That's true. I forgot about that rule. Yeah. Shoot. Yeah. And aluminum has better thermal conductivity than steel, because steel actually sucks, which I didn't really realize. That's why, like, when you get those like what is it, those steel pans, like they're multi-layered, like the good ones, like, right, the mixed metal there with like the inner like aluminum thing, so you actually get even heating, because apparently steel sucks at that. Like, man, material science is so cool. I'm like, man, like alloys, that's why we got all these alloys.
Yeah, apparently Glauber salt is also commonly used to manufacture laundry detergents. Okay, that's interesting. Anyway, there's your science lesson for today, folks. But
Glauber.
What was the nuclear power.
Nuclear.
I mean, we've talked about this multiple times. You know, again, my concerns are, or as you were starting off, the pricing. You're still going to be pushing resources and communal elements from people, and therefore you're still going to influence their taxes, their pricings, etc. There's the concern over proper care and safety for anything nuclear power plant. Everyone's going to always try to cut corners to save money, and that's going to be really bad if it's a nuclear power plant. And concerns over national security. You create more places where foreign actors might want to, who want to harm the U.S. will target. Which, I mean, they're going to target things anyway, so that's not really the biggest thing, but it is still a concern of mine.
Another thing is, well, how expensive will AI get now? If you have to front all these costs for like nuclear, or will it get subsidized with like the Project Genesis thing? But subsidized usually just means we'll pay for it later. It's expensive now. Like, it'll come out of somewhere, right? It's got to come out of somewhere. So it's like something that's getting more expensive at the expense of all the infra. Yeah, it's
your great grandchild, 80 years old. Oh, finally seeing the benefits of the decisions made more than 250 years ago. Too bad America doesn't exist, and this is now New Japano, Russia. So I'm getting jack squat from this.
Western Russia. They're split down the middle. It's like Western Russia. Oh shoot, what was the name of that Netflix movie series where like Germany like won World War II and like America got split and like half of it was like Germany, half of it was Japan. Man in the High Castle, I think is what it is. I think it's Man in the High Castle. Yeah, I never finished it, but like, oh, interesting, like historical fiction premise.
Yes.
High Castle, man.
It was on Amazon Prime apparently though.
Okay. I don't have any streaming services anymore.
Oh, it was based off a book. Louis, don't say too much. You might give too much away.
I'm looking at the trailer. I'm like, oh, look at that guy. He's giving his heart away to those people. Oh, Elon. Spicy good.
The book was written back in 1962. I might want to read the book now. That might be. I want to read more. I dare not say New Year's resolution because then it will never get done. But it is a goal for this year that is New Year's irrelevant. That's my story, and that's what I'm sticking to it.
My New Year's resolution is about 4K. No, I think it's 5K on this monitor. So yeah, that's my resolution.
Hold on. Do I still have access to can I God, I forgot how. Wait, what? It's not. I can't do it in the thing anymore. That sucks. Hold on. What? Was it a Nitro thing? No, it's still here.
Soundboard?
Yeah.
Did I ever? Because it reminds me a little bit. Did I ever send?
There it is.
Like, did I ever send you that thing about how I think Google is like proposing like making data centers in space?
They eavesdropped on our show, Louis. That was my idea.
So
My idea with what's his face's voice, Alex Jones, and put data centers into space. Laser beam, satellites, receiver, and spread it.
So like I read this like piece, and this was by shoot. I think it was this woman who was a like former NASA engineer, scientist, worked for like electronics, and also worked at Google I think for 10 years. And like basically she's like shutting down all these claims about like, oh, we'll just put the chips in space. I believe the author's a woman. Let me just verify. Tyrannus.
For the viewers and listeners, though, the reason why I'm bursting out laughing, I'm sitting here like, oh, my idea. Oh, they're like, they want to do, my ideas are good ideas. Louis sends me this article, the title, Data Centers in Space Are a Terrible, Horrible, No Good Idea.
Dude, I can't tell. Anyway,
well, damn.
They're basically saying like, yeah, it's just a terrible idea for multiple reasons, and they're basically naming all these reasons. Like one of them being like power, like most of the power you can really get there is like solar, and you do have nuclear, but like the nuclear we're thinking about is very like constrained. It's not like nuclear reactors. She was saying something called like radioisotope thermal generators. So basically, like the power output is like about the same as like your a very, very small. No, not that small. Like a very low powered PC, like 150 watts, as you said, is like kind of what it caps out at with these like radioisotope thermal generators. Because you have to be stable in space and they have certain limitations. So you're saying, so like your best bet is solar, but then like in space, like when you have things out there and orbiting the Earth, part of like she was using the ISS for example. Part of the ISS, it's pretty warm and toasty for a decent chunk of the day, and the other part is like ice cold because like it's just not getting a lot of heat, and so you get like this lot of thermal instability, and you gotta like design things in a way so like the hot parts can like cool down, and that's like thermally conductive enough, or it doesn't bow and shape your thing out of proportion. So like that's one problem. It's just heating and cooling. If you put all these GPUs, say like on one part of the ship, you gotta make sure the heat goes to the back, and that's another problem. It's like there's not air in space, so you can't use convection. You can't just really use a fan unless you pressurize the cabin. But then that adds another layer of complexity if you're going to pressurize the cabin, because then you got to figure out how to power those like if you're to pressurize, I guess not the cabin, the vessel, you then have to spend money on cooling essentially for that convection that you now are able to use. So now you need more power. And then she starts saying, so like that's just like part of the problem is like the cooling. It's not going to solve any cooling problems whatsoever. Like the other part she was saying was that chip sizes. Like our chips are so small nowadays because they pack capacitors in such a tiny die. And the problem is radiation is constantly bombarding you in space. And so when that happens with an electronic, that's going to flip a bit and mess up your computation, at least for that particular session. At worst case scenario, it flips a bit in data, and now you just corrupted that bit of data or firmware, you know? So now, like, you got this thing that's airing out, and so there's ways to mitigate it, she was saying. But to mitigate the damage, you could use shielding, but there's almost so much shielding you could use because every pound that you send up to space gets more expensive. So now we're talking about just cost with cooling and just like making sure like your data is actually like you actually have data integrity. And then she was saying like a lot of times like a lot of shielding is not practical. What's more practical is making the die size bigger, but then that means you lose a lot of compute. But now the way you mitigate essentially radiation in space is the most popular method is just make it so your chip design supports multiple areas of failure. So she's saying like a lot of the tech in the ISS using like slower processors that are kind of like the equivalent of like the speed of a computer of the 80s.
Yo!
Because you can't use smaller like chip designs because or like a radioactive like isotope hits it and like you fry the system like immediately. It's not resistant to any radiation permeability.
Pause real quick. Do you know what that means, though?
That we went to the moon?
Oh my God! No, don't you start! Don't you start! Don't you start! No, that oh God!
We didn't go to the moon.
It was all a hoax. Alex Jones says that everything is all put in the studio. I didn't see any green men on the moon. Did you? That's because it was fake. No, the movie Alien, you know, with Ripley, you know, I forget the creator of the whole thing, but they had the right idea. 80s computational technology on these large space vessels because the chipset designs just so happen to need it. So that's why they still have like VHS type cartridges and why they got the old school CRT tube TV and monitors. They were right. The future is 80s technology. We're going back to the future. We're going back to the past, baby.
Yeah, she was like citing like this camera design she had made for people to use up there in space, and how basically the way she designed things was like a big die. It wasn't a high quality camera because they need extra processing power to what is it? Oh, to process like these bigger images. Mm-hmm. So it's not like, you know, 48 megapixel camera. It's like a lower resolution. And then on top of that, she designed the circuit in a way where you press down on the shutter, and that's like the spike in power that it takes when it surges. So there's like I think a little bit of a delay when it takes a photo compared to like a camera. They just snap it and it's like more instantaneous. And she said she did that for thermal management because she wanted the thing to use less than like I think a watt of power it was. I might be. Yeah. Oh, sorry. It draws 1 watt of power at peak, and after that, it drops down to like 10% power when idle. So she doesn't like overheat and make the system difficult to cool down. Because like cooling is such a problem up there because there's no air is like a valuable resource. When you do have it up there, obviously they need oxygen up there, but you can't always trust that it's going to be used in an area with air. Like they could be using it outside too. By outside, I mean outside the ISS too.
Are we sure we're not in a little ice globe controlled by aliens, Louis? Does outside really exist?
The outside is just outside this house. Outside this. So yeah, it's like summary, like
I had a horrible
you're only
idea.
gonna be able to remember.
That's the summary. This is why I'm not a space engineer.
Yeah, it's just like it's just gonna be better on Earth, like because just radiation gets like worse, like at certain levels of like the atmosphere.
New idea. We fly to the moon for the first time, and we build data centers.
You had me at first time.
I was gonna say just build data centers beneath the surface of the moon. I mean, you still got to figure out cooling then, and you can probably still carry the actual full-size nuclear stuff over multiple trips to the moon. The only thing with that is, and I'm assuming there's a bunch of other physics and astrophysics that this particular scientist can go, I am so tired of your shit, please shut the hell up, can cover. But aside from that, we would have to get into the logistics of national security. Every other country in the world is going to be like, well, if America gets a data center on the moon, I want my data center on the moon. And thus, I've single-handedly created the idea that will start the real life Star Wars.
So like, if we did do that, wouldn't the biggest issue then be like data link? Like, a lot of people could barely get like a photo downloaded like on the other side of their house, right? We're talking like extreme long distance like data links, and like when the Hubble gets like pictures back, or when the Hubble sends pictures back, doesn't it take like a good minute for like the whole photo to be rendered? Because like it does like a slow scan TV kind of deal.
Well, my thought process there would be it would essentially have to be like a super long caching system where you could make a request, it would do the calculations and computations, later, and then over time send bits of data to, again, some type of satellite dish. Again, laser would probably be the best way at that point. Receive it, store it, and then cache it onto storage on Earth. And then anytime you reference that material or that information, I would assume that you could have a more lower power, lower compute that pulls from that storage reserve on Earth to then deliver. But even then, I'm already thinking of other problems that arise from that type of architecture.
Is radiation like as bad on the surface of the moon? Because like they have like a thin atmosphere, or do they have like no atmosphere?
More likely yes, but that's also why I said under the surface of the moon.
Under the surface, under the sea, under the sea.
Down where it's dustier, down where it's cheesier. Listen to me. I don't know.
That's true. If we don't figure out cooling, those cheese tunnels are gonna melt.
And the man on the moon is gonna be real upset about that.
Dang. Yeah, we'll have to just keep them here on Earth for the time being.
Wow.
I'm just saying all these wrong things. So like an astrophysicist can be like, no. Like, oh, finally we got a guest.
I'm getting an angry email from Neil deGrasse Tyson. No.
That'd be some clickbait right there. Neil deGrasse Tyson schools, two guys.
Real man, Louis.
Monetize the video.
Okay, we are officially reaching 2 hours, which I gotta admit feels right. This actually feels right. We'll see if people agree with this episode being 2 hours long, but sounds about right. We also didn't really touch on any of the main topics on our doc sheet, but
let's be real. I don't think any of these topics I ever liked. They're all just general topics.
Yeah. I need to revise how I do this doc. No more like general main. They're just list of topics.
Topics.
Yeah.
Just topics.
Yeah. And I'm trying to look through. There's not really. To be fair, we actually kind of hinted on a few of these. The technological era. Is information really at your fingertips? How controlled is that access? So I guess before we end, some of these points were, again, oddly not even very, somewhat political this episode. Apologies if people are burnt out when it comes to politics. I completely understand. But there's an incident going on in Iran. And there have been a bunch of protests going on. And the government don't like that. So the government shut down the internet in Iran. And we do not live in Iran. What's going over there is what's going on over there. But the thought process did come to mind because we are still seeing some grievances here in the States. And personal opinion about how certain entities, even across the spectrum, do not always follow the law, nor the Constitution. And I was wondering, do you think the U.S. can come to a point that gets so heated and so controversial that the government might try to do something like shutting down the internet in the U.S.? And if that is the case, then is information really at your fingertips, especially as well as since it's been toxified and poisoned with, what's the term? Not false information.
Fake news.
Fake news, okay? Fake news, misinformation, wrong information, because I'm the best. I appeared on South Park. I heard that I was nicely represented. I was the perfect character in South Park. Very manly, very, very heterosexual. Have you watched the episodes yet?
I watched the episode. I'm not watching the Send me the clip.
Okay. So anyway, basically, with information being so prevalent, be careful what you consume. We should be mindful that it doesn't mean that what we have today is guaranteed for tomorrow. And I hope everything goes well in Iran for the civilians there. I have no idea about the government. I don't know about political sides. I just care that innocent people are not taken advantage of or harmed. Moving on, before we get to the second one there, AI, AI for the nth time. Yeah, we talked about the institution of AI just all today in general. So we talked a little bit about the whole regulation thing with the Twitter, Grok. What's its ultimate goal? Kind of just to make money. Where does this end? No one knows. In my opinion, it's going to be Terminator, Skynet levels of pain and suffering. Now to the real juicy bit. The smart home dream is becoming a smart home nightmare. Louis, you want to just kind of give your little, your stank on this?
My thread infrastructure was just not great. I thought I did all the right things. I got some of those, nano leaf lights, the basic ones. I bought like this pack of like 20 of them or something. I forget the number now. It was like a big old pack, the big pack that they would sell. Started putting them everywhere. I got one Home Assistant, right? And I was like, all right, I'll just connect them through here. And like the thread abilities of that are kind of iffy. They always say that they're in beta. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I started having connection issues. I'm just like thinking like, well, maybe I should get something with like non-beta thread issues. So this is where it first began. Because I just had like a little Google Home in like one area of the house. I think it was just the living room. And then I got Google Home Hub, the one with the little screen, the little mini one, not the Max. And I was like, okay, cool. Now they'll connect to this main thing and then I'll bridge with Home Assistant. But I still saw disconnection issues. I'm like, well, okay, maybe it's because I don't have one downstairs. So I got another one for downstairs. And then, it seemed all right. But then, like, one device would disconnect, and then they would all, like, disconnect. And then there was no self-healing that I was told would happen with, like, this Thread network. And I was like, man, the reason I started with Thread was because I wanted to move away from, like, the Wi-Fi IoT devices because they take up, like, extra bandwidth on, like, the airspace in that particular sense. So every individual one just causes like more noise over time. So this is my idea of like optimizing my wireless network. But that didn't happen either. So I'm like, shucks. Like, is it home assistant? Is that the issue? Should I just like not use that and just use like the Nest stuff exclusively? And then over time, it just disconnected so many times. I just kind of got tired of it. I wouldn't really use Google Homes for anything else. It's just thread border routers. And of course, the thread border routers are just uh, the Google Home products, right? Like the smart homes, the like smart speakers and listeners, the Amazon Echo stuff, or that like defunct thing that no one uses, the the Apple HomePod, I think is what they call it. That like no one and their mother like owns. I've seen people with Alexas. I've seen people with like Google Homes. I've never seen anyone like even like Apple fanboys that like I know with a HomePod. It just never really hit. I guess like no one likes Siri.
No, actually, no one does. Literally.
Yeah. Oh man, this Siri and then I mean Apple Maps is a whole another thing. So I got rid of all my smart speakers, which is great because it's probably terrible for privacy. Actually, I know it's terrible for privacy. And I'm also going to remove a lot of my smart lights. Maybe keep like a few here and there, just keep them as like accent lights, but just kind of use like Bluetooth control over them. And I don't know if I do anything like smart, I might just do Wi-Fi here and there sparingly, like a little Wi-Fi plug I still got laying around. I used that this season for Christmas, turn on the Christmas tree. Yeah, so not a fan of Thread. Kind of a big disappointment. Like an investment just to kind of have all the extra infrastructure for that. All the frequent disconnects. Meanwhile, I have like this Lifix, or Lifix, light bar that kind of sits behind my TV. This whole time, it's just been quietly working 100% of the time. This like quote unquote outdated, non-matter compatible, system locked in, proprietary protocol, like light, and it's worked fine. I'm like, oh, look at that. Look at that.
It's amazing, dude. It's you would think again with the advancement of all these protocols and these things to become intercommunicational, communicable. I don't know. I'm making up words. They can communicate across the thing.
Communication.
You would think things would be more smooth and more seamless, but they're just not. And like you, I've started to have like this rule when it comes to new stuff that I'm buying. Anything that requires a dedicated, specific app on my phone to control, no, not gonna use it. Anything that has a proprietary type of codec or you need to have this little hub thing to make this work, nope. Nuh-uh. It needs to be basic. It needs to be able to operate on its own with maybe like some physical wires plugged in as an option, like for like actual switches or dimmers or whatever. Or it has to be something that I can connect to over Wi-Fi or something that is accessible from different things. That is my new standard. And as we mentioned many times over the last 2 years, I might just have to do some things where I find time over the next 5 years to get like one new thing created that I can just deal with for the rest of my life. I'll just make it myself, as slow and at a snail's pace as that might take. Because what I'm fed up with, and as I told you, I'm tired of saying ALEXA, how's the weather? And it goes, oh, it's sunny out right now. There are plans for showers later today around 5 p.m. Oh, by the way, have you thought about subscribing to the Amazon Prime deal where you can watch multiple movies and TV series and shows? It's only like $12.99. And it's like, shut the hell up. I asked you about the weather, not about TV, not about a movie, not about videos, not about ordering anything. It'd be a different story if I said, hey, Alexa, what's the review on the latest Superman movie? And it said that, and then said, hey, by the way, you can find other DC movies on Amazon Prime. I would still hate that, but at least that would have some context that makes sense.
Relevancy, yeah.
Okay. Okay? I shouldn't have to go, hey, set an alarm for 2 minutes so I know my chicken will not burn. And then it goes, would you like to order some new shoes? We found some great in your size. I am cooking chicken right now. What do I care about shoes?
You invited a salesman to your house.
Oh, and a spy. You want spies, Louis? Because you got spies.
Got spies.
You got spies.
Yeah, so, you know, I just have to, like, you know, look at my phone sometimes, look at the weather, so not gonna miss it too much. The smart lights, it's not like they really work consistently anyway, so it's...
No, I just had the thought where it's like somebody who's like 80 years old is gonna say, why are you asking that dumb piece of shit what's the weather? Look out the goddamn window. That's how you know what the weather. Why are you asking about the weather? Look, you dumbass.
My bones tell me if it's gonna be raining.
Which, you know that's actually true though, right?
Oh yeah. There's people
it's-
who could do.
No, it's because of the barometric pressure. It shifts and causes air gaps in your joints to pop or feel different. So that's what they say, oh, my bones are aching. It's because the pressure in the air shifted and they're feeling it on the very minute scale of their joints, allegedly. I'm not a scientist, but that's what I read from scientists. Well, look at this
This could be as
Kool-Aid.
incorrect as possible. Possible. It's that one rule. It's like if you wanna find the right answer on the internet, just give a completely wrong answer. Don't worry, someone will correct you.
God, yes. Well, actually. And the funny thing is, like, we all joke that we hate that guy, but sometimes it's like, you're an unsung hero. You are annoying as shit. And sometimes I'm that guy, but unsung hero.
Sometimes it's nice. Other times, like, okay, I didn't need that.
Well, actually, if you want to know about an animal's shut the hell up. I asked about my dog's a need for food that makes it best for their stomach so they're not constipated. I didn't ask about any other organ. Thank you.
You know, I have a meme for this. Hold on.
You have a meme for, don't you have an app that you created for personal use
Yes.
that stores a library of memes?
Yes, and I tagged them. Partial one. That was like one of the main places I use AI. I'm like, here, just auto tag these for me. Did a pretty decent job. I sent it.
Sir, you are a master of memes. Serious issues. For the audio only people, there's a picture of what I believe is a chihuahua looking at the camera. Like they're fed up and tired of the person who's taking a picture of it. And the caption says, when you joke about serious issues and someone writes an essay in the comments. Yes. 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 And this is my face when I look at the camera and goes, Zane, you dumbass bastard, why the hell did you have this episode go on for so long? We will see you in the next episode, everybody. Be sure to drink a lot of water, stay offline, stop reading news for the moment, take a break, enjoy life as much as you can, and be here in 2 weeks because we'll have another episode ready for you. I've been Zane the Cubby Blaylock. Joined by my studious co-host Louis, that I did not have to come back and say this in post. I'll see you in the next one. But until then, as always, take care. We can't end the show until you also say bye.
Oh, okay, yeah. Bye.
Okay, Luke.